Welcome to the WomanPod. I want to say thank you guys for tuning back in with me. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I appreciate you for showing up for yourself today. And today's topic, I was actually just having a few conversations back and forth with one of my good friends. I used to go with a community that was organized and still is going and is ongoing with the person that I connected with many, many, many years ago. I did a lot of inner child self love with him. He was a great mentor in my life throughout this time and still is. So I chose to take the different path for myself and go on my journey of discoveries. So thank you again, Pavan, for still keeping me as a friend. I appreciate you. And so what I was noticing within myself, I tend to not give myself enough grace, not to give myself time to just find bits of pieces as a mom to really just sit with myself and enjoy myself, right? The joy word. As a mother, and again, you may be happily married, congratulations, or you're in a relationship or whatever it may be. For me, I'm not in one. I'm actually alone. Alone, yes, I am. I think it's been quite some time actually. It's gotten so used to being alone. I got used to doing things alone. I got used to handling everything by myself. What I wanted to talk about today, guys, is that sometimes when we do it on our own and we don't know what to do, right? So I was starting to suffer with anxiety, like really, really bad anxiety to the point where I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was starting to get very triggered. I was starting to get angry or lose control of my emotions. And I'm going to be honest, I was coping. And I'm going to tell you the things that I was coping with. And I'm not saying that these things are bad, but what I'm saying is how we use them is very important and to be self aware of when we're doing these things. So, one of my main ones was eating, and eating. Like, I know you would think, right? Like, what? Like, you don't look like you eat so much, but I do. I eat a lot. I eat a lot, thank God. Maybe I have a high metabolism, but again, the things that I was eating wasn't things that I should be eating to make me feel better. If anything, it makes me feel like crap. Another one that I was doing too is alcohol. Like I would go every other, I don't know, like when I didn't have the chance to be around the kids, I would go and drink. I would just go and drink one drink, two drinks, three, let's say four, and so forth. No, I didn't get crazy. It was so much that I couldn't even feel it anymore to the point where it was like one wasn't enough. Let's just be real. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Think it's time to start changing the paradigm here and start sharing my story because you may be in the situation and probably thinking you're doing okay. But let's be real. Let's be real. Sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves and give ourselves that grace because we're doing too much for people and we bottle it all up, right? We bottle it all up to the point where we're not giving ourselves the time of day. We're not giving us the time to rest, rejuvenate, relax. So as I was talking to my therapist, I was telling him like, I don't know why I feel this way. I was like, I try to be perfect and I know that I can't be perfect, but no matter what I do, I'm still not feeling the way that I should. I was like, little things like, I was like, at work aggravate me. Things just all of a sudden, like people project their frustrations on me. So I take it in and I take it personal versus when I could just literally just leave it at that and it stays at the door. Right. And so for me, it was just like, okay, Val, we need to just figure out something. And that's why I got a therapist because I was like, let's be real. I've been in therapy, but even if you know your triggers, it doesn't matter because there's some emotion inside of you that needs to be resolved, right? And one of mine was I was tired. I was tired. I was really tired. I wasn't getting sleep. I was starting to get anxious. My blood pressure started spiking up. I was starting to get worried. I was like, am I gonna die? Like, I think at this point I'm doing too much. I started getting little hives on my stomach and on my back and stuff. I was like, Lord Jesus, like here we go. Like I'm stressing the fuck. I realized like, okay, Val, we need to listen to our body. What is our body telling us? My body's tired. I'm aching in all kinds of ways. My back was hurting. My heart obviously was working way more than it is and was overexerting more than what it was. And I was like, this is not going to be something good for me to just keep doing, because my body's only going to do it so much. So where again, it could lead to a heart attack or panic attack or vice versa, worst case scenario. And that's not something that I want, because my kids need me. So had another friend actually reach out to me, and she was telling me like, hey, like, I'm going through it, it's crazy, because she was kind of telling me stuff that she's been going through. And I go, I'm so sorry for your loss, like it's a process. I was like, be gentle with yourself. Like, I know what you're going through, especially the grief part. And I was like, take it easy. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It does not. The process of grief is something that goes in layers. It takes time. And sorry guys. Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow, because the expectations that we tell ourselves sometimes are just things that are in our subconscious and unsubconscious mind. So my therapist mentioned, he's like, what we think is what we do. So I've started to train my mind to think different again. Let's be real, guys. Our mind, the way that it works, it's so ready to fight, right? Fight or flight, right? It's ready to attack. It's ready to protect, because that's our mind. Our mind is to show us what we need to worry about, what we need to see, what we need to hear, vice versa, right? Our body's just done this way. This is the way our brain works. It's the brain that regulates everything. The oxygen going in and out of our heart, everything. It functions, us looking at each other, us talking, everything. Without the brain, we don't do nothing. We would be immortal. So the brain is very important. So that is probably the main thing that I would suggest. What are you watching? What are you doing? What are you thinking? How are you reacting to things and stuff? Because this is very important. And I didn't realize this because I was very stuck on that instant gratification, right? Scrolling on TikTok for so long. I got hooked on it. Even when I was just needing to focus on one thing, I couldn't even focus on it. Or I was doing this to numb the feeling, where I was avoiding what's going on around me. I just don't want to deal with the stress. I'm just gonna do this because it'll make me feel better, right? Let's be real. I had a person that was yelling at me. I'm just gonna avoid the feeling and I'm just gonna scroll on TikTok. No, it stops right there. It stops right there, because that's exactly what I was doing. That's exactly what I was doing. Or better yet, let's talk about real life situations, right? I've been dealing with my oldest. I haven't talked, but there's been things that have been going on, right? Where I'm having to have trust with her and her have trust with me. And I can see why she didn't feel safe, and she just didn't know how to speak up for herself, or she was too afraid. She was too conformed to the things that was going on in reality, like social media, her friends, other people. I said, you have to be mindful of the things that you watch, mindful of the things that you do, the people that you hang out with is very important. I was like, if we don't take the time to really see what's around us, it can really fuck us up. It can really fuck us up. I'm being honest with y'all. Sometimes protection is everything. Protection is rejection. Rejection is protection. I said it backwards. Sometimes the things that don't want us or need us or leave us is actually not meant for us. But we're, again, going back to the same damn thing that we're feeling, right? We feel the need to do this because that's just something that our body or brain does, right? It wants to protect, it wants to control, it wants to do, it wants to prove, it wants validation. So I'm going to call the brain the ego. I love being talkative about the ego, actually. Talk about that ego. Let's get it. Let's get it. That ego, you got to make it your best friend. Yeah, it's meant to teach you how to fight. It's meant to teach you what to say or do, or how to take power, or how to control people or manipulate, etc. There's so many levels to it, y'all. There's so many levels to it. We use our ego everywhere. We use it for work. We use it for conditioning. We use it for all kinds of stuff. I'm using it right now as I'm speaking to you, because I'm using this to tell you what I need to tell you. And also, the reason why I wasn't allowing myself to be was because I was so on the go. I was stuck in flight mode, right? I was on the flighting mode. I was flying high. Let's be real. I was flying high, and I said, you know what? I got to fall back down. I got shot as I was flying, and that's exactly what needed to happen for me to go back in and say, girl, what are you doing? What are we doing? We ain't God. We ain't God. We can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. And I want you to take it as an opportunity for growth. Take it as an opportunity to see that you are an amazing human being. We are all amazing. We all are. And 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 what I do here is not anything less than for you, okay? Just because I'm a podcaster, just because I want to express myself doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean I'm different from you. We're all the freaking same. We're all human. We're all human. Yes, we evolve. Yes, we create. We are loving. We are people. We are gifted. We all have different gifts. And one of my gifts is the podcast, right? And I was meant to teach you guys all these things. So that's what I'm here for. So, and of course, I've awakened to this because I realized where I was holding myself back for a lot of things. I mean, with people, exes, my kids, and I was like, no, like this can't be going on. Like this got to change today. We have to be vulnerable. We have to be loving and kind and joyful in every circumstance. And the reason why I'm bringing this up today, guys, I didn't know what the word joy was until I realized what I was doing to not feel the word joy and happiness and grace, right? So for me, my therapist said, you need to rest, you need to relax, you need time to reset. And I'm not saying, yeah, have a drink once in a while. Give yourself that grace, right? I'm not saying go on a drinking binge because you're having a hard days of work, your boss is yelling at you, or your boss wants you to do this project, or vice versa, or your partner's telling you to clean the dishes, or your husband's telling you, hey, like when are we gonna like connect or be intimate? Let's be real. We all have all problems. We all do. It's small things, guys. It's small things. And we're all needy in some shape or form. We all are. Let's be real. Like there's not one human that I not know that doesn't need stuff. Tell me who. Casper. Casper just comes and goes when he feels like it, right? The thing is that we don't give ourselves time to rest, to relax, to breathe, to just see and feel, right? We don't know what the joy or peace feels like because we're so stuck on survival mode. What is survival mode? You're constantly worried about the next day. You're constantly worried that the bills get paid. You're constantly worried about, I don't know, maybe your neighbor doing something or saying something, or you're worried about, I don't know, you're worried about your kids, right? You're worried if they're going to be like told something or tattletale, or I don't know. Or you're worried about you're not going to make the weight that you want next month. Let's be real. Or you're worried about, I'm not going to have that perfect body. I'm not going to be snatched for summer, right? Let's be real. Or I haven't gone back to school, or I'm still stuck trying to pay this debt off. We all have it. We all do. I do too, y'all. Like honestly, it's not gonna get realer than this. Like everybody has things, and that's why the reason why we have these things is to live life. There's the condition to it. There's a way to manage it. There's a way to distribute this energy. And this is by remaining in solitude. Sometimes you do need to protect your energy. Sometimes you got to take that day to rest in, sleep in, don't wear makeup. I know. I told my therapist one day, I told him, like, sometimes I don't even feel like doing my makeup or putting my lashes on. He's like, and that's fine. He's like, it's okay. Like, you don't need to do all that. Sometimes you just need a rest. Sometimes you need a break. So stop painting this imaginary thing that you have to be a certain person for somebody else. When you know that you want to prove to yourself that you just want to fucking break. You just want to fucking break, dude. I wanted a break, and I always want to break because one, I work from home. Two, I have this podcast. Three, I'm a mother of three. And four, it's just me. And that's okay. Like, it's okay. And sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough because I don't give myself that enough time, right? So, and I'm sorry if I'm getting emotional, but it's true. I don't know if anybody's going to understand this, but when you've been a fighter your whole life in survival mode, that's all you know. That's all you know. And it's okay because you've been a fighter, you found a way, right? Let's be honest, we found a way to survive. And but that taught us our worth at some point to be too much or doing too much. So your self-worth, I was listening to this podcast, or actually no, a book. I'm reading a book as well. It's called Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. I definitely recommend it for someone who's in higher position or wanting to be of lead, or you want to be someone important, or even just for future knowledge. But this author had a lot of great theories and things that they brought up. And I said, God damn, that is so true. We live in a society where we want to prove to people things, but we don't have to do that. We don't need to do that. We're going to do what we can when we want to, because in reality, let's be real. If you did something when you were tired, let's say you want to build a house, that house is possibly going to be cracky, unbuilt, unsettled, unsafe. And guess what? When a storm comes, guess what? It's going to blow it away, right? Let's be real. Or you rest, you relax, you rest, wake up, have a good breakfast, get ready for the day, and you start by going down and getting all the supplies that are needed, tools, and start building your house. And that's that. And you don't worry because you're doing something with the house. You're building and you're taking your time because you're rested, you're relaxed, you feel good. And by all means, you're creative now because you're in creative mode. You're probably gonna build a fucking mansion at this point. Then other ideas start to come, and then you wanna walk in a staircase, right? You want that built-in bookshelf on the hallway. You want that beautiful fireplace, right? You want those high vaulted ceilings. You want that nice built-in kitchen, custom made cabinets with the beautiful islands, open door, open policy to where it's like you can see through these glasses of windows so you can see your kids playing on the yard. How is that? Sounds amazing, right? See how pretty that is? Because you did the rest, the rejuvenation, and you see the difference? I was like, I need to come up with an idea to make these people understand what I'm talking about. So to be gentle, learn to be loving to you. This is a big radical self-love acceptance that I wanted to talk about because I can see why I've been here my whole entire time, which is okay. I'm not saying time is fragile, but I'm 35. I'm not getting any younger, but I can feel younger if I give myself more time to do things that I want, that my body needs. That's resting, that's catching up with friends, maybe booking a travel, focusing projects in the house. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I started working on a project here. I started doing I did a one accent wall in my living area. I still want to do things here, but it's like I told myself I need a break from this because I was realizing where I was overpouring to this project. But it's an ongoing project. And that's the thing. You are an ongoing project. Don't feel pressured by society or people outside of you or anything, people, friends, family. Like, you need to be doing this. Like, this is what you need to do because the pressure only gets more built and it's bottled up to the point where you're like, you know what? Like, this is my life. I am the one living in this home, right? I've been doing it. So why are you going to tell me how to do things? Unless your life is going good, then yes, I'll take your advice. I'm going to be real. If you're not doing great, I would not take your advice because there's one reason why you're stuck. There's one reason why you're still where you're at right now. Then I don't want your advice. I'm going to be real with you. If I don't see growth in a person, y'all, I'm going to start detaching from these people. If I don't feel respected when I say no, I'm sorry, I just can't be your friend. Or thirdly, if you think my time is a joke, no. You better have a good goddamn explanation of why my time was just not meant for you that day. And that's okay. Let's be real, shit happens, but you need to be real with me. 100. I'm not here to settle for less anymore. I'm not. I'm sorry. I've been sorry for such a long time. I was stuck in survival mode to where I was allowing this stuff to happen. I can do this on my own, protect, provide, and do it all. And it's like, lady. Just let it be. What's happening right now? Yes, you're a mother of three. You're doing it alone. Let's be real. And it's okay. If people offer to help you, get that help. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I have a neighbor here who has helped me cut my yard since my dad passed away because I couldn't cut it anymore. It was hard because the man that I looked up to was the one that was doing these little things because I didn't have that person. And he really like molded me to do these things on my own, which I love him for that and I appreciate him. He showed me how to be a person of my own. But it's just really hard for someone, and I know because you're probably going through this, and it may not be my example, but sometimes when you've been alone for so long, you get so hyper independent and you want to be the fighter, but sometimes it's okay to be the one that just doesn't react and doesn't respond. It's okay to not do everything all at once. It's okay to just fall back and not get triggered by every single situation or circumstance. Safety is important. Yes, it is. It very much is. But we have to give it to ourselves first. Like that safety, that security, right? So I started budgeting. I started taking action. I started seeing where all my money was going and coming in, what things I needed to do here in this house so the house can be safe, right? Getting rid of things that don't work in this house, for God's sakes. Things that just were cluttering up. And I'm still waiting for the big garbage pickup so they can take a bunch of other stuff that I need to get out of the garage. But take the time to find rejoicement with yourself, forgiving yourself for not allowing yourself to take the days that you need for yourself. And even if it's a few minutes of your day, and if you can put those in your day, trust me, it'll help significantly. Also, I wasn't telling my kids what to do around the house, for example, chores. I was doing it all on my own. I was. That's my fault again. Actually, no, that's not my fault. Here we go again. This is the shame part. This is something that I do, and I have to learn to stop doing that. I just didn't know that I could show these kids that they can do it. I just had to be the example. So I've been asking each of them, especially my son, I've been like, you need to get the trash. My daughter washed the dishes. Obviously, my daughter's not good at washing dishes, and I know this, but I still know that I have to let her do it still until she gets better. Before I was being the hard judge critic, like, oh God, she still left food on the fork. Like, I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, get out of the way. Like, I need to clean. And I say, here we go again, being in this hyper independence mode. We got to stop now. We're not going to get saved if we're not saving ourselves here. So find your ground. Find your ground. Find the safety net for you. My safety net now is allowing myself to be on the days that I need to be. The days that I feel tired, I'm going to feel tired. And if I need to take a nap, I'm going to take a nap. If I need to put my phone on do not disturb, I will put my phone on do not disturb. If it takes me a whole day to reach out to the person that texts me and I was too tired to reach out, I'll take the whole day to reach out again. My mental health is important. Not everything needs to be responded to. Everything should be when it's time for me to make the time for that. Make time for yourself. And I want to tell you guys, there's not a perfect way. There's not a perfect way, but find what the thing that you need, that your body's telling you you need. You heard my stomach, I need to go eat right now. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. But find things other than what I've been saying to help you build this, to build this within you. You are great. Be gentle with yourself. Let this week be the week going into next week. Be the week of accepting yourself. When you're tired, you're tired. When you're sleepy, you're sleepy. When you're angry, you're angry. Feel it. Feel it until it's fully gone away. You're gonna have to see that feeling and you're gonna have to find a way to breathe through this feeling, right? Don't bottle it up, because when we do that, we bottle up more than what we need to, and then our body starts to react. High blood pressure, acne, stress, whatever, right? Anxiety, depression, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, guys, this is it for today. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thanks again for tuning back in here with me, the Woman Pod with Valerie Atkinson. I will see you guys next time. Much love.